What's going on, world? It's your boy, Kuya P, NRW, Nerds Rule the World, and I'm here with the homie, Heather, to talk about another infamous trailer coming our way in the world of pop culture. Heather, are you an Indiana Jones fan?
That's like asking, do I like water? Like, why would you even ask that? It seems like a weird question.
I feel like, because I'm an older head, as you know, like Indiana Jones, that was kind of like my time. And then when the more recent one came out for, quote unquote, your new generation, I'm not
that young. I am not that young.
Well, Crystal Skull didn't do so well. So I figured like people weren't fans of it anymore and they didn't get the goodness that I got as a kid. So
I think you forget how
they might have tuned out.
I am. I think you forget how old I am sometimes. But no, the thing is that if you're a Lucasfilms fan, you have realistically seen at least one of them. Yeah. And it's a great series, and it also makes you really want to question things like if would anything change if Harrison Ford or Indiana Jones was in Ark of the Covenant? No. My husband and I literally sat up one night. He did not do anything of value technically in that film. He was just pretty.
Yeah.
Could have ruined some people there. I was ruined too, so you did it too.
I think, yeah, there's been other actors you could have kind of, did like the James Bond thing and plugged another person.
Oh, no, it's
nothing against Harrison Ford, but yeah.
The character, Indiana Jones, the character did not do anything in that film.
True.
The outcome would have been the exact same whether Indiana Jones was there or not.
Agreed.
So, destructive. That concept is.
I'm sad. For me as an old fan with growing up with it, like I just wish they would have done more, especially when Harrison was in his prime. They could have done more. But hey, if Harrison wasn't down to do it or he was too busy, then I wouldn't have mind plugging in another actor to portray Indiana Jones. I wasn't 100 on him. I love him. Yes, he originated that role for me. But give me more Indiana Jones. But they didn't. So with that being said, I think with a lot of CGI, as we're seeing from the first trailer we saw, and we'll see from this one, I would assume, because I haven't seen this new official trailer, because I think the trailer we saw before was the teaser, or at least I and the other members of the team. So I'm very curious with this new official trailer, what's this going to look like? But thank God for CGI. Let's go. Here we go. Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, y'all. Fresh from Star Wars Celebration.
I'm retiring.
Well, in that case, what are we drinking?
Same for the goddaughter.
Dad told me you found something on a train during the war. A dial that could change the course of history.
Why are you chasing the thing that drove your father crazy? Don't move.
We need to get out of here. Stop! Sorry.
Helena! Dr. Jones, get him. Hitler made mistakes, and with this, I will correct them all. You stole it. Then you stole it.
And then I stole it. It's called capitalism.
This way!
Fasten your seatbelts. There might be some turbulence.
You've taken your chances, made your mistakes, and now a final triumph.
Indy! Give him hell, Indiana Jones! A few times in my life I've seen things. I've been tortured with voodoo. Been shot 9 times. Including once by your father. Sorry! But I've been looking for this all my life.
In theaters, June 30th. Heather,
tomorrow. This is really late, Disney. Come on now.
So what do you think about Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny? Yeah, so we're seeing older Indiana Jones, obviously. But it was that one segment that was like, they didn't film that. He couldn't. So CGI Indiana, but looks, realistic enough for us to believe that. So
definitely doing the Mandalorian thing where, they can.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell it's a Lucasfilm when they're doing the exact same thing to Luke Skywalker that they're doing to Indiana Jones, my friends. It's almost like it's the same family of films or something like that.
So will you see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Heather?
I absolutely will. I'm excited. I was excited about Crystal Skull. Y'all can hate me in the comments as much as you want. I was excited. It was nice to have Indy back. So
you know what? I'm happy you said that because even though I was talking about how like your generation, again, I'm aging you again, youngster, felt bad about it. I didn't have that much of a problem with Crystal Skull. I could see where it wasn't the same in certain respects, but it was great to see Indiana Jones again. This was canceled Shia LaBeouf, at least to me. I didn't mind Shia at the time. Was he always canceled?
Oh no, he's been canceled for like 4 or 5 years. He's just Shia, honey, fix yourself. Just fix yourself.
At that time, I think the only thing I knew him was like a Disney movie called Holes that I wanted to see but never saw still.
Holes is actually a really fun movie.
Holes?
Shia aside, Holes is actually a really fun movie, and it actually holds up. Like
I gotta watch that then. I still gotta watch it.
Great environmentalist film, and of course the book for every single child in middle school has read that book at this time. So
okay, so yeah, that was the only at that time, right? Like that was the only thing I had heard of. Never seen him before, so I thought he was great in Crystal Skull. I didn't mind Dog or Mutt or whatever his name was. He was the dog again, like Indiana was the dog, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. But it just made me like, damn, just remember all the missed opportunity that we could have had if they would have given more Indiana Jones films to us. So this film, yeah, I'm gonna see it. I'm a fan of Indiana Jones, that whole kind of storyline. This, kind of goes back and forth in a way. It feels good to see that. But on a whole nother note, totally somewhat on topic, somewhat off topic. As we get older and hopefully get wiser with things, I have a kind of a question for you, Heather, in regards to like Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones, where we have these archaeologists, these adventurers who go and find treasure and bring it back to a museum, mainly white people stealing from old civilizations, African cultures, Amazonian cultures, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel a way about it now as of late, because that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the country that it's from, have some of its wealth. Like I think you and I watch a lot of documentaries, right? I think about like some African, there was like this huge African kingdom, back when like the Woman King, that a lot of that was based on like some of the OG-ish stuff that they had. These white colonialists stole it all and now have it in like England and shit. And none of them have their own treasure. And they profited off of that treasure and put it in these museums. So I feel like a way now, which kind of, takes away some of the luster and love. Like when I see like Indy, and then even back in the day, I love that whip, Indiana Jones and the whip, and that's how he gets back. But then I think about white people and whips, and it's not a good look, and it makes me rethink about things in a way. And I know that isn't Indiana Jones' intent. That's how he just got around ways and over things. But yeah, I don't know if it's just me or what. And I just never really said that out loud to anybody else until now. And I also want to give a shout out to my boy, real quick, my boy Urias, who has a comic book called Jason Wise, and he has a whole he runs Black Heroes Matter, which is a great group, friends, t-shirts, I've done their marches at San Diego Comic-Con, helps, promote a lot of that stuff. But just to help, Black hero fans feel empowered and emboldened. But he has this great book, and it's starting to really get a lot of push. Hopefully some things are happening. I'm not going to spoil anything with what he has going on with it, but his whole intent of his character of Jason Wise is about an African-American man adventurer who goes to steal from museums to bring it back to the people, which is super dope. And I love that. But yeah, so I've been feeling some kind of ways because I've been I was over at Target earlier today, and they have this new Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny toy line, and they're bringing back some of they created figures from Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom. Really cool. I would have gone batshit nuts if I was a kid. I want all the things if I would have saw this, but didn't have it at that time. But I look at it now, and they have this toy whip, and I'm like, I don't know.
So first off, I just realized something. I think I said Covenant of the Ark for some reason.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, Temple of Doom or Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is what I meant to say. I don't know what I was saying. I think because we were talking about Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, which we also have another featurette for, but that's besides the point. I'm sorry. Nerds out there, don't hate me. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm so sorry. But number two, I think that it's really, really important because you know me. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Us white people got we got lots of explaining to do with all the things we like to steal. Because it's not archaeology, it's theft. That's plain and simple. It's you can learn just as much important information from what you find and leave it there and give it to the people. That's archaeology. That's science. That's doing the right thing. Stealing it and putting it in your museums, that's just theft. But when it comes to things like Tomb Raider, what you have for personal gain situations. You don't have someone putting things in museums. You have someone taking it in and selling it on the black market. That is straight up theft. In Indy's case, one of the big things that you really need to emphasize, and one, the whip toy should not happen anymore. That's an old ass toy. Please stop. Because they even have it still with a lot of cowboy toys. Stop. Get rid of the whip. The whip is not a needed toy. The concept of the whip with Indy was more of a prop. That was more of a symbol of of that period. It was used in circuses. It was used in times. So with Indy, it's a lot easier to separate. I'm going to use the concept of separate art and artist because you know me, I have a hard time with that in general. But separating art and artist, in this case, we are looking at a film. We are looking at a storyline that takes place during a period where there was an antiquities boom. That is not something that we would condone now. But this is an indie during a period in which that was a thing, that was a very predominant business. So I think in this case, I do not feel as bad because it's talking about a timeline where this was the most problematic. Now, do we want to talk about how problematic that is? Absolutely. Do I feel as bad about it? No. Would I feel kind of when it comes to Tomb Raider? Yes. But at the same time, one of the really cool things you see is in Tomb Raider, in those films, you see a lot of growth, a lot of, you see her friends are changing, her connections are changing. She's learning what those things that she once stole or those things that she is helping steal, how that can impact her life, other people's lives. So I think that the good news is that as an industry, we're growing. From an Indiana Jones perspective, we are keeping that story in the past. It's not in this present time. So it's giving us a little bit of purview, and it's making it easier to like a film, easier for us to still enjoy it, because those are things that also did happen. Hitler did steal a whole bunch of shit because he wanted immortal life. He wanted immortality. Like that's something he actually did. He stole from literally everybody. And so to make it very easy, I think I'm okay with this, but it does, and for the big reason that it really emphasizes a true problem. It really gives us that moment to be like, this really happened. Like it did happen. This might be fiction, but it's telling you what something historical here.
I agree. And I want to thank you for, in regards to like specifically the whip and the time period. I knew my brain was overthinking it. It was like my brain started on one thing and then, it started overthinking. Oh man. And it just made me feel like Yeah, you know how like our brains can do that in a way, and so I think I was overthinking it, but also yes, time period and with what was happening and stuff like that. But yeah, because I'm a kid of the '80s. Indiana Jones is my heart. Then it grew into the '90s with the Tomb Raider games, which kind of carried on that Indiana Jones spirit, and I love them both. And I don't want to feel like it's problematic, but yet you know, in some realities, you know, when you really think about the wider things, you know. It's a reflection of society and culture. So, but yeah, I'm a fan. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Definitely gonna check it out. But I think if anything, like with what we're having right now, it starts conversations and makes people that may not think that certain things are bad in certain ways and what we should think about. And like you were saying, like with Tomb Raider, it's outright theft, you know, and archaeology. You could do it like you were saying, with the people, not take it away to them, you know, just all the things. And but yeah, those thoughts were coming into my mind as I was off at the store and seeing the new merch and just, you know, as some of the trailer teaser pieces were popping up here and there. It just made me think about things again in a different way. You know, we're living in different times and, you know, or at least I feel, and I'm trying to become more worldly and with the people and how I think, I would like society to, you know, change. We should take that action for ourselves and how we implement that with the things that we do. And so I think with that, we become more cognizant. And I think that's what's playing into my head. But also maybe not to overthink.
No. So one of the great things so this is where you hear a lot of this bullshit. One of the big things that you hear about the quote unquote wokeness of film and entertainment is that art has always been this definition, this place where we could fantasize something that's truly, truly happening and speak on it in a much more digestible way. So what this is making us do is this is giving us room for real, true conversation, but in a palatable way that anyone can talk about it. We are giving space for everyone. And I'm sorry, we're woke. I'm so sorry, because we want that conversation. It's a great thing. And we are so lucky to have franchises like Star Wars that talk on capitalism and that talk on other things, the fucking Russia, like dictatorships. There we go. That's the word I'm trying to think. We're talking, we want to talk about these things, but we want to do it in a way that everyone can get into the conversation. You can't have a conversation about how archaeology is theft to a 5-year-old, but when they go and see Indiana Jones, they can understand that one, it's in a time period where that was big, but maybe we can now sit down and be like, do you see why we shouldn't be taking things away? He got cursed. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So I really love that we have entertainment, that we have art, because we can have these conversations now. And it feels a lot easier to be like, is this okay? Is this okay that I feel bad about this? Is this okay that I don't like this? Absolutely. Dude, if you don't like the concept of someone stealing antiquities from civilizations that have had hundreds of thousands of years of history, dude, be mad, be angry. But it's also really great that we have that opportunity to do that.
Let's go. Completely agree. And hopefully it'll educate people and see, you know. I dig it. Thank you so much, Heather. Appreciate it. Indiana Jones fans, y'all, whether we're complicated in that passion or not, I love it. But let's at least start the conversation. Thank you so much, Heather. How can the people reach out to you if they want to talk all things Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, and how, theft and archaeology is a real thing?
Sure, you can yell at me about how woke I am with Indiana Jones at Nerd is a Heather on Twitter and at Heather is a Nerd on TikTok and Instagram.
There you go. And I don't care if you think I'm woke or not. I stand by it. Whatever. That's ridiculous, you know. And we should be awake, should be listening and feeling and vibing with everyone. Anyway, follow me at the Legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, IG, Hive, and of course here with Heather and the whole squad at the NRW and Unreleased Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Those are our feelings on Indiana Jones and the Dial of the Destiny. I said that right?
Dial of Destiny.
There you go. Let us know if you're checking it out in the comments below.